Hey guys, what's up? It's Dusty here, back with another crypto video, and today we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP. And as you can see from the top right here, we have a lot of different things to talk about. It's going to be an action-packed video full of interesting topics and interesting tweets and such. But guys, make sure that you go ahead and press the like button on this video right now. And I'm saying this for you guys because we are giving away $150 worth of XRP. It is that crazy, guys. And all that you have to do to enter this giveaway is press the like button on this video, comment something about the video down below, or just comment something in general, doesn't really matter, and make sure you are subscribed with the notification bell on. And then if we can get Let's do 350, guys. Let's do 350 likes within 24 hours. We're giving that away. But let's not waste any more time. Go ahead and follow my second channel as well, Dusty Finance. I post some cool finance-related content on here. I've not been too active. I've really kind of put it into a shelf for a little bit, but I'm going to get back into it, so make sure you go ahead and follow that. First off, ex-Ripple CTO announces $100 million grant for web with Mozilla and Creative Commons. I know, this is already like a day and a bit old, but I just missed it. I don't know why. I just did not get the chance to cover it yet. It didn't really fit into the topics that I had before, so, we had to miss it, unfortunately. It was just after I did a video surrounding, like, the rest of the stuff, right? I did a couple of different things in one video, but hey, just a little bit too late, but it's okay, guys. We got some really interesting new stuff as well. Stephen Thomas, who is the Ripple's former CTO, reveals his creative plans to help creators, YouTubers, journalists, and other content providers on the web. He announces a $100 million grant by joining hands with Mozilla and Creative Commons to upgrade a native web payment standard. $100 million grant for web to change the entire internet business model. Launched by Mozilla and Creative Commons, Grant for the Web, a $100 million fund, is designed to monetize the web wherein content creators get profited for the content they share, and at the same time, users don't have to compromise on their privacy of their data. However, in the case of the current internet business model, the ad blocker helps users with to protect their privacy, as it prevents trackers from knowing users' online activities. While the process affects online advertisers, they are already researching out the different ways to combat the issue. As per the latest report, Coil and two other companies, Mozilla and Creative Commons, are granting $100 million to change the existing ad model, yet assuring the privacy of the users. To simplify, the firm intends to change the entire internet business model, which paves the way for an alternative to the internet's ad tracking business model. And having said that, at least 50% of the grant money will be available for open source projects that anyone can use. Echoing the similar concern, Mark Surman, the executive director of Mozilla Foundation, said, "We need a lot more than $100 million to fix the internet, but this is a good start. There's nothing wrong with capitalism, but when it's based on pervasive and constant surveillance, it's not the right way to turn our digital economy." The rest is a little bit about the same type of stuff. But in the end here, guys, it's just something you should take into consideration, that privacy is something of the past here. And you just got to be really careful with what type of information you can keep to yourself and, that you don't have to share online. That's why I always recommend against using Facebook on a real daily basis for posting everything that you do. I mean, you want to check up on your friends, if they're married or not, or, you want to go to this event and things like that. You can use Facebook, use things you want. But I would always recommend against using it. Like, let's say you post something on there 15 times a day, with pictures of all your friends or your family, everybody, every single day in, day out. At one point, they're going to have a pretty good idea of who you are. I mean, they already have a very good idea of who you are, but it's just going to get worse and worse and worse the more you're sharing around the internet. So always be a little bit cautious with what you do there. But again, that's just my personal advice. You can always do whatever the frick you want yourself, and don't let this bother you if you are a frequent Facebook poster. As I post a lot of things on Twitter, post a lot of things on YouTube, post a lot of things in different places, right? You just got to be careful, and you got to really know what you're putting out there. Now, I'm putting up a lot of tweets right here. You're like, why are you doing Dusty? Why are you showing me all of this? Well, I was kind of intrigued by the amount of money being sent in huge flocks. Because, I mean, if there's, 10 different $1 million or 1 million XRP transactions, you probably won't see it. But because these are huge transactions at once, here's 15 million XRP today which is $4.6 million, 4.7 from Bitstamp to somewhere we don't know. Here's 26 million XRP, $8 million transferred from Bitstamp, or BitThumb in this case, to who knows where. But again, that's a lot of money for all in one day. And here's, of course, a lot of money from the OTC, or from Ripple to the OTC. Oh no, in this case, wait. Transfer from Ripple OTC distribution wallet to unknown. Here was from Ripple to unknown, and here was from Ripple to Ripple OTC. It was actually in the completely different order, right? I think. Yes. I think so. I should think so, yeah. I always forget in America how it all works with the AM and PM. Like 12 a.m. is like 12 in the night, and then 1 a.m. Yeah, that's, of course, that's night, yeah. No, it's only with 12. Like 12 a.m. and 12 p.m. I kind of mess up because it feels intuitively wrong, but it is actually pretty logical if you think about it in perspective of like it being, you know, the processor or the previous one to one. But again, I'm not from America, I'm from the Netherlands, if you guys did not know. If you were sacrificing and acquiring XRP through the bear market, every 0.01 counts. Going from 0.25 to 0.32 is a big deal, and let's hope the trend continues. Cheers, my buddies. Mr. XRP said that on Twitter. Now, why I think these tweets are actually really fun and really good for the community is because they have a little bit of a fun tone to them. Again, he ends his tweet off with cheers, but also it kind of makes people realize how big of a move this actually is. And also, if you put it into perspective here, this XRP gain is not nothing normal. It's not anything normal. It's really quite a big thing. It's really quite a big move as well. I mean, 7 days, 23%. And again, if you check the facts, it's actually more so 23% in about a day or so. You know, a little bit more than a day, maybe 1.5 days that it did 23%, and that's just completely mental in my opinion. And even if we check the highest price here, 32, you know, we started at about 26 to 32. That's 6 cents in the smallest amount of time here, guys. That's just completely insane to me. I can't even. It's 25% right there. Damn, guys. It's not just crazy. And again, if you go from 25 to 32, some people are saying like, oh, this is just the beginning. This is small talk. Haha. I mean, you got 25%. You got 1/4 of the whole pie. And 25% in a day. You know, on stocks, you might get 25% in a year if you're lucky. Or 25% in 5 years. You're getting it here in a day. I mean, that's insane. Volatile? Yes, definitely, right? But a lot of people are complaining it's not volatile at all. So, hey, you got something else for yourself right now. Backed said here, Backed is our only official Twitter handle. We want you to stay safe and avoid scams. Backed will never use social media to request sensitive information, to give away Bitcoin or other crypto, or to publish a wallet address for deposits. Mr. XRP asked, though, will you be listing XRP, asking for a community? So, in a reaction to this, actually was kind of, I didn't see it yet, but I put up this tweet right here. Are you expecting Back to get involved with XRP at some point? I thought it would just be an interesting thing to make people think about, and also a little bit of some different tweets. I'm going to be posting a little bit more tweets out there. I think it should be a good thing if I get a little bit more active on Twitter, as I have so many things I want to share and talk about, but I forgot Twitter was even a thing for a little while. XRP Moonshine, lover of all crypto, said on Twitter, XRP Golden Cross just occurred on the 4-hour chart. Let's go. Now, this is actually already a couple hours ago. Really, like 7 hours, 6 hours. I don't even know what time zone this is in. It could be the UK. Could also just be in the original American time. Who knows? Who really cares? What is important about it, though, is that the Golden Cross, again, became closed or even occurred, and it did not really deliver too much on their promise. Like, I'm assuming that was made roughly around, this is already 1 hour this is 2 hours before, because it's 1:30, it's at 1:50 a.m. and right, okay, it's 2 hours before here. If I'm assuming, right, look at my tweet. Let's look at my tweet. My tweet says, oh, the correct time. So yes, that was 6 p.m. then, that this was posted at. If we then look at about 4 p.m. Here we go. Yeah, it happened around this time somewhere. Like, it's pretty cool, but we did not directly get any increases afterwards. Like, it's too bad, so to speak. Like, it's too bad. Triple Golden Cross, the Bearable Bull, called this yesterday. Here we go. That's pretty cool. I guess that's pretty amazing. it could be some cool stuff coming. Then if we're looking at it from a greater perspective, like we cannot really make a verdict yet, as it's only a couple of hours since this supposed triple golden cross occurred. So it could also be that tomorrow there's going to be some crazy insane gains happening again. But just wanted to point out that with the golden cross, it's not always immediate gains, even though most of the time we're hoping for that. And in this case, the golden cross occurred here. It could be that it took a little bit of a height as well, but hopefully, preferably, it just dropped down. Well, no, actually, preferably it's going to stay roughly around this area. Otherwise, the golden cross is just going to instantly reverse once more. It's going to, yeah, like an anti-golden cross, or however you want to say it, in the other direction. Because if this were to drop immediately, this is most likely going to drop below it, just like that. But if it stays here, the lines are going to be continuing on the direction that we want it to occur, and that could be positive for us. XRP on Google is up again. I actually went to look into it a little bit myself, because I looked at this. I was like, Google searches for Ripple up 67% in the past week. I looked at it. I was like, that is interesting, but this does not work out. For one, he says Ripple, and he's looking on Ripple, but he says XRP is on Google again. I mean, that's not the same thing, right? If you're looking for Ripple, you're not looking for XRP. If you're looking for XRP, you're not looking for Ripple. There's a pretty big difference between these two things, and I think you should take notice of that as well. But if we look at XRP and Ripple ourselves, on Google Trends, it is in Dutch. Hopefully, you guys do not mind that too much. Hopefully, you're not going to get too angry with me right there for that. If you have any words you want to translate, just type it in on Google Translate, you bozo. But yeah, it says here XRP. Of course, it says here Ripple. These are search terms. Interest in time, average, date, overview per region, freaking regions. I mean, you can probably understand a lot of this stuff. Like, it's not like it's freaking Chinese where you have to read the characters. It's pretty intuitive as well, I think. You don't have to know anything to understand. Worldwide, last 30 days, all categories, Google search, add, comparison. Well, all that we need to know from this, though, is, again, how they're doing over time. And I put it to 30 days, but we can also put it on an hour, 4 hours a day, 7 days. You get it. Why am I trying to explain it? I'm like trying to explain it later, so you guys are stupid. I know you guys are not, so it's okay. From a 7-day perspective, yeah, I could say we're up a little bit. The blue in this case is XRP. You can see we're up a little bit in perspective of, earlier in this week. If you're looking at a daily basis, I also have done nothing too special. Pretty intuitive as well. 4-hour thing, nothing too special. Of course, you can't really tell too much from 4 hours. It's only 4 hours or 1 hour is only important if like something crazy just happened. Like, for example, the big conference that went on today with the Federal Reserve. I don't know what the name is again, FUMC, or what is it again? I don't quite. How can I not remember that? The name was, what was it now? FOMC. Yeah. Of course, it was FOMC. So that was like the federal interest rate decision as well, and in that, and a lot of different stuff happened earlier today at around 8 p.m. Netherlands time, if you were wondering, or 8:30, and in those cases, it can be really important to look at the 1 hour, 4 hour, or even daily. In this case, for XRP, it's moreover like a longer period of time that we want to know what's been occurring. So if you look at, let's say, 30 days here, you actually not see any real change in interest for the coin whatsoever. I mean, the only thing we're noticing then is like in the beginning of this thing, so in like a month ago exactly, there was a lot of interest in Ripple specifically. Again, not even in XRP, but in Ripple specifically. But for the rest, over this whole period of time, one big boost 7th of September, but not too much. 90 days, again, let's see if it pops up here. No, it does not at all. It's nothing crazy that's going on here. June was a very crazy month in terms of interest, but right now, a couple of spikes, but not doing too crazy. So saying that we're doing that insane on the charts or on the Google Trends is just exaggerated. I mean, in a weekly comparison, yes, we're doing better, but from a bigger perspective, not at all. One thing I do like to see as well is, if you scroll down here, the interest per region. What I find fun is that interest for XRP is really high in Japan, Thailand, Mexico, Philippines, Saudi Arabia. These are, like Japan, Mexico, Philippines. We know they have XRP ties, so they're using XRP. I'm assuming a lot of people are already looking up XRP over there. And Ripple is very, very sought for in India, which I don't actually know if they look up for a contrast. Yeah, I think they look for a contrast where like the biggest difference in terms of interest. But in this case, there's a huge interest for Ripple in India, and I'm assuming again that's also because of the situation that we read about a couple of months ago, where let's actually look at this one as well, where there's for another couple of countries. Oh, these are really, really small countries. Okay. Oh no, they're not. Curacao, Afghanistan, Haiti, Mongolia. Well, one second though. What I want you to say as well is like, just snapped, just changed. There was a lot of interest in India for Ripple, and I have not really heard too much of interest for XRP over in India. But I think it's also because Ripple can help a lot of different things over there. I mean, if you want to look up more about it, just type it in on Google. We did a couple of videos on it a couple of months ago when it was relevant. But for right now, India's been kind of struggling with the ban. Maybe also because of the ban and the situation surrounding that, people are not too interested in XRP. Maybe they are. Maybe XRP is going to be below there, and it's just because there's a contrast between these two because they're compared by region. If you look at smaller countries as well, which is kind of interesting, I think. Isle of Man, they don't have any Ripple surges over there. They just have XRP. And here, Caribbean, Netherlands, Seychelles, I don't even know what that is. Some other places like Greenland, they do not look up XRP at all. They just all are for Ripple. Ripple for one, Ripple for all. If we actually get rid of this one though, and just look at XRP, we can actually see which country is looked up the most, and it's mostly Slovenia. Again, this is the place to be. Luxembourg, Ireland, Australia, and Cyprus are also very, very popular on this list. Let's move on though. Moonish XRP says on Twitter, just playing. Imagine this growth will stay at 10% daily. We would just need 2 months to get to $200 per XRP. Cool, right? By the way, did you notice Excel has got Bitcoin in currency section? That's actually quite a development. I didn't even know that Excel had them in the currency section, but I think that's a really interesting thing. I mean, when is XRP going to get on there? Nobody knows, but the idea that they are open for getting cryptocurrency in there is already a really good thing in my opinion. Here's the date, right? And this is starting from today, or I guess it's yesterday for me, but for you guys it's today. The date, the price, and how much you would have if you had 3,000 XRP. And you can just see it moving along and becoming a really big amount of money. In just 2 months, or the 26th of November, you're already at 6.5 tons. You're at $650,000. I mean, that's 2 months and 7 days. That's really crazy how that can go that quickly, guys. It's something you got to think about as well. I mean, not in terms of you got to hope for this and expect this to happen, because this is still a constant gain of 10% a day, which is not going to happen. No way, right? No way. That's not going to happen for 2 months straight, 10% a day. No way. I'm going to bet all my money on that. But in reality, though, it's that close, right? A lot of this stuff is that close, because we could just get 80% days in a row. I mean, it's not going to get the same effect, but it's possible. Anything is possible now. We've seen it once more, and countless upon times we see it again in the crypto space, that things that you expect are very strange and will never occur, that they occur. It's just that way. It's really crazy, guys. Also, I should quickly mention, the U.S. quietly printed $75 billion out of thin air for the banks, and this is why Bitcoin matters. This is actually an article that I had open here as well, as you guys probably already saw, and you saw it in my tweet as well. This type of stuff really makes me think about how we are valued in this world. But okay, that's some good old monetary policy for the Federal Reserve. The Federal Bank of New York very quietly handed out $75 billion in cash to the banks in Wednesday in a process known as Repurchase Operation, or repo. This emergency measure hasn't been used at scale for a decade since the last financial crisis. It's a reminder of the central bank's power to artificially expand the money supply and devalue your money. And this is why Bitcoin, with its capped supply and strict predictable output, actually matters a lot. Holger said, "What the hell is going on? Fed to inject $75 billion into the financial system after funding squeeze." Here's the U.S. overnight repo rate surges. And what is the repo operation? Well, in simple terms, the central bank prints $75 billion and makes it available to commercial banks for a 24-hour period. In exchange, the banks post treasury bonds and other assets as collateral. It gives the banks instant liquidity for the overnight money market, where banks execute short-term loans with each other. As CCN previously explained, banks get the overnight capital they need by pledging collateral, usually treasury bonds, in exchange for cash. When the Fed provides the cash, they basically print the money in exchange for the securities. So is this a sign of a crisis? Well, it's a canary in the coal mine. It means liquidity has dried up in the overnight money markets, and the banks desperately needed liquidity or liquid cash to trade and lend each other overnight. The first warning sign came as the overnight interest rate shot up to 10%, up from the typical 2%, and the Fed had to step in to ease the liquidity crisis. So, why does this even happen? Well, German reporter Holzer Schrappzeitspitz summed it up with a simple line: it looked like banks were suddenly short of cash. Dramatic moves in the money market has led to the U.S. central bank shunting $53 billion into the system on Tuesday show that the unexpected can still occur, even in an era of tight bank regulation and relatively stability. It looked like relative financial stability, there we go. It looked like banks were suddenly short of cash. The New York Fed admitted themselves that the most likely cause is dwindling reserves at the banks, and again, a little bit more talk surrounding the same situation, but you get the idea. Lehman Brothers filed for the largest ever bankruptcy 11 years ago on September 15, 2008. Many things changed that day, but the most lasting impact is arguably what's happened to the money supply. What a chart. Again, that was 2008. This is what happened to the money supply. It's completely insane, guys. But that's a little bit in-depth stuff for a lot of you people. I'm assuming a lot of people don't care about this whatsoever. You're just like, oh, what happened to XRP or something like that? I understand, though. If you guys are interested in more, cryptocurrency, financial type of news, anything like that, let me know in the comment section down below. Do you think this should have been posted on my second channel called Dusty Finance? This type of finance daily stuff. Let me know as well. I also do Forex if you guys did not know, so that may be why I'm really interested in this type of stuff. But thank you guys all for watching. Make sure you go ahead and follow my second channel, Dusty Finance. Make sure you go ahead and follow this channel to enter the giveaway as well. Don't forget that one. It's really important. It's completely free to enter. So just go ahead and do that. And I'll see you guys again in another crypto video. Take care, everybody. Make sure you go ahead and join the Facebook group. Some other cool links are in the description below. Check them out. Check them out. Check them out.